Congressman Bob Goodlatte, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, is with me now. And, sir, welcome back. Good morning to you.
Good to be with you, Bill.
So you're going to get some answers to some questions that you wanted a few weeks ago this week. But he will come and sit down and talk with you behind closed doors next week. Do you believe he perjured himself when he testified in mid-May? Yes or no?
Well, that's why we want to get the answers to these questions on the record in writing. The first effort, he got an underling to answer the questions for him. We said that's not good enough. Then he attempted to adopt those answers with a separate letter saying, yeah, those are my answers. We said that's non-responsive. So now he has agreed to, by the close of business tomorrow, answer a number of questions that we have on the record in writing, and he has agreed to provide full answers. So we'll see.
Okay, now speaking of on the record, last night with Greta, you said they're either lying to Congress, lying to court, or both. Now,
well, do
you stand by that or not now?
Well, we're going to find out, and here's the concern. The Attorney General testified before the committee that with regard to the potential prosecution of reporters, that's something that he's not been involved with, heard of, or would think was a wise idea. Then, a week after his testimony, which was made under oath, by the way, we then learned about the Rosen case because a federal judge, I think recognizing that this matter had been sealed for 3 years when it was supposed to have been unsealed 18 months earlier, maybe hearing about the AP case, decided to do that and apologized, by the way, for the delay. In that unsealed record, we found an affidavit for a search warrant in which it was alleged that Mr. Rosen, the senior Washington correspondent of your news organization,
right,
being accused of being a common criminal. An affidavit said that there was probable cause to show that at the least he was an aider, abettor, or co-conspirator in violating the Espionage Act. Those are pretty serious charges. The response after this became public was, oh, that's just standard operating procedure in order to get the warrant to investigate the leaker,
and you want to figure that out, don't you? I know. Listen,
that's either false information to the court, or false information to the Congress, or maybe both.
Understood. Okay, sir, hang on to that point right now. When asked if he should resign, 52% of Americans say he should. I guess you only need the vote of one person, that's the president, because that's who he works for. But with regard to this whole question about lying or not, do you think he can explain it away, do you believe?
Well, it's a very tough matter. It's a very serious matter, but we think he deserves an opportunity. And finally, we think he's taking that opportunity to answer the questions. We'll then review those answers and be the judge of whether they are fulsome answers. If not, there are further steps we can take, including subpoenaing him to the committee.
Sounds to me like you're not sold just yet, so we'll see whether or not he can change your mind in the Q&A and also the meeting next week. Quickly on immigration. You're a former immigration attorney. You know this topic very well. The reporting suggests that you will break up immigration reform and run through a series of mini bills to work toward grand legislation, as opposed to what the Senate's doing with its 1,000-page report to do it all at one time. If you get your way, what is the first bill you would push for, sir?
Well, we're not wasting any time on that either, Bill. We are going to take up an enforcement provision in the House Judiciary Committee today. It addresses the interior enforcement. We already have a bill coming out of the Homeland Security Committee dealing with border enforcement, very important, but about 35–40% of the people who are unlawfully present in the United States entered lawfully on student visas, visitors visas, business visas, visa waivers, and simply overstayed their visas. So the border doesn't solve that problem. It has to be interior enforcement. We'll take that bill up today, followed by 3 others over the next 2 weeks.
All right, now through our polling again, more border security, 81% favor that, by the way. Path to citizenship, 74%. So that's the American people talking right there. Border security and the path to citizenship. But if the House goes your route, does that kill what's being done in the Senate, sir?
Well, it doesn't kill what's being done in the Senate, but it answers and fixes a lot of the problems that many House members, including myself, have with the Senate bill. They give the legalization before they do any of the measures to secure the border and to have an enforcement mechanism like E-Verify and entry-exit visa record-keeping systems in place. So that's what happened in 1986. They got an easy pathway to citizenship for 3 million people. The promise of greater enforcement, that promise has still not been kept nearly 30 years later. We don't want to repeat that same mistake again.
Bob Goodlatte, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming back. We'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, Bill.
From the Hill, thank you.